the Residential Design Certificate Program at the University of Miami Coral Gables campus. Present with us today for all of you folks, we have here industry professionals. And Gisela, I would like to start off with you. She's the lead instructor for the University of Miami Residential Design Certificate Program. Can you kindly tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm Gisela Lopez Mata. I'm a tenured professor of design for many years. I have a master's from Pratt Institute in interior design, a bachelor from and I have been a practicing designer for many, many years.
Okay, great. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today, Johandel.
And I'm Johandel Ruiz. I'm with RTKL currently. We're a high-profile design and architecture firm. I'm also a previous student of Gisela. I'm very happy to be here and join this conversation.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us. Virginia?
Hi, my name is Virginia Chang. I'm a licensed interior designer. I graduated from FIU and I've been working in the field for 13 years now, and I'm also a former student of Gisela Lopez Mata.
Great, thank you. Robert?
Good afternoon, my name is Robert Hemingway. I currently work for Miami-Dade County in the field of interior design. I'm a project manager, and I don't have the fortune to say I was a student of hers, but I graduated from the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. And it's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Claudia Machado. I'm an interior designer here at RTKL and Associates. I work in the hospitality field. I'm also Gisela's student, and I graduated FIU.
My name is George Rawback. I've been 38 years in the field, 24 years with Miami-Dade County. I'm retired from there, and I'm sure that Stella's happy that she was not my teacher. I'm very pleased to be here today.
Great. Thank you all so much. As you all can see, we have wealth of knowledge, years of experience amongst all of you collaboratively and collectively. And I would like to start to talk to you, Johandel, given your field of expertise. I would want to know, can you tell us why design is so important?
I believe design is important because when you look all around you, design is everywhere. From the minute you wake up in the morning and you pick up your toothbrush, till you go to work and you sit on a task chair, and then when you go home and you lay down on your mattress, everything was designed by someone. We don't realize how important design is, and it's really all around us. I think more so now than ever before, the U.S. has really embraced design and interior design specifically. With all the great TV programs that you have out there, residential design is at the forefront now of the industry. So I think it really plays a role in everyone's life, and it affects us more than we really like to think.
Okay, so you would find it in hospitality, entertainment, commercial, and even corporations?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, which one do you think is more
well, right now I think the lines are being blurred. With all the reality shows out there and all the access that Americans have to design and to good design, it's no longer looking over at European countries for great design. In America, we have some really great products, from Ford, producing really great cars, to great interior designers producing really beautiful hotels and residential projects. Also, the entertainment industry brings a lot of the design into our mainstream too, with beautiful homes being designed by high-profile designers. You have people like Brad Pitt, who's so interested in architecture and design. So it's really just a plethora of different people coming together and really embracing the design community. Wow. Especially here in Miami with all the residential properties that have been built up within the last few years. I think residential design is really booming.
You're right. It has become, I think, it's a lifestyle. I think people are more aware through internet and magazines, not just in fashion, what's in right now, but they want to translate all that style into their homes. So it has become more it's a lifestyle, it's a way of living. They want to bring all the beautiful stuff into their homes. So that's why I think there's so many celebrities right now that they like to do the interior design. Not only they go into fashion, they venture into home design. So even Donald Trump has a furniture collection right now. So it's they all those lines are totally blurred right now.
Great.
And I think it's really a representation of your individual self. So design really represents who you are as an individual. So you want to have your home or your office represent who you are as a person. It also brings your culture together as a group and as a nation too. You identify yourself through design.
Wow. So it's expanding a lot across the board. So Gisela, the residential design certificate program at how does that addresses this new fluctuating industry?
Well, I think that our program is as interesting as unique in a way, because in 120 hours, 6 courses, we cover, I would say, the roots of design. In this case, it's residential design, but as Johanna and Claudia have mentioned, residential interiors and the rest of the specialties, their boundaries have expanded. You know, they're not there in a way. So we are different in that although we discuss in class present day trends, where all of us here are very much aware of what's happening today. Although we are aware of that, we do cover the why did I do this and that, the why of design, the fundamentals, the principles, the elements. It's not because I like it. It's because there are certain number of principles that we're based on.
Okay, wow, thank you. So lessons in essential residential design components such as scale, proportion, colors, materials become opportunities to better understand our surroundings, our cities, and our times. So students are introduced to the importance of expressing their ideas, as you stated, in terms of materials. So Virginia, can you elaborate a little bit about that? Why is materials so important? Their nature, the technical aspect.
Yeah, materials would help you define spaces without having to spend a lot of money. Sometimes budgets are high and sometimes are tighter than in other occasions. So the more you know about the materials, the better you can apply and know where to accent and where to use the expensive materials. And it's also important to know, in order to know the lead time, what material to get, what's locally appropriate, and how to use it within the space. Not only with the colors, but fabrics, furniture, and the floor finishes, and all of that. I think this program might provide you with a good knowledge and the basics of knowing how to select it and present it to the client.
If I can jump on what Virginia was saying, I think also materials and this program are really essential in understanding how those materials are going to perform. A lot of times, designers that are not experts in materials specify products that are not going to hold up for the environment that they're specified for. Let's say you were doing a kitchen renovation and you're doing someone's kitchen. You want to make sure that whatever tile you use for the countertop or whatever stone you use in that environment is suitable for a long lifetime. And you don't want that client to come back to you and say, this product only stood up for 3 or 4 months and it was not as durable as I anticipated it to be. So I think understanding materials is really key in ensuring that you have repeat clients, ensuring that your client is happy, and that your product and your design is going to last the test of time.
Wow. So it is very important that materials is being taught in the residential certificate program, right, Gisela? So a whole module is dedicated just for materials.
One course is
Wow.
just on materials.
And it's also important how you present those materials to the client, because I always think back of that little dessert cart in the restaurant. When you have that dessert cart in front of you, even though you may not want the dessert, you order it because it looks so delicious. It's the same thing gets translated when you present your materials to the client. If they're not arranged in a certain way, if the colors doesn't flow, you might have a beautiful design, but if you don't present it the right way, it might not get approved. So that's really important. I always think about dessert
Also,
cart.
we really do address the measurements, the fibers, it's at least the student is aware of all these issues. It's not just going to a fabric store and picking up some fabric that I like. No, now you're using it in a piece of furniture, and there's someone that is going to be relying on your judgment. So you have to be careful as to what you specify.
Right. And you have to be ready, like Johanna said, educated on your material, because I mean a lot of people have good taste and they can put things together, but do it for being informed, and there's nothing more satisfying to a client when they ask any questions and you're right there and you know exactly what to say, and you have to be knowledgeable. They're coming to you for
And they
for
come
professional
back,
help,
and then they're gonna
and
come
they
back.
come back again. That's correct.
Okay,
And I
wow.
think also, sorry if I could add to that, I think nowadays more so than we saw before, your client base is very well educated. Because of all the information that's out there on design, clients are coming to you and they really understand materials. So you have to make sure you're at their same level, if not way above them, so you can really have that dialogue. If they come to you and you really have not seen that material that they want you to put in their living room or their kitchen, and you're not aware of it, they're going to not believe that you're up to the task at hand of designing their home.
Okay, so Robert, I know that you are an expert in the area of this presentation and presenting the ideas to the client. Can you elaborate a little bit about that and why that is so important?
Yes, to piggyback what everyone has said so far, it is extremely important because if you do have a wonderful materials that you are presenting to your client, if it is not displayed properly, if you don't have the right words and knowledge to go along with that, it's not going to transcend to the client. It's very important that you also stand firm somewhat to how you feel about your design and convey that to the client, because that's why you're there. That's why they relied upon you for your expertise. So you must have this knowledge to convey this to the client. It's very important.
It's almost like marketing yourself and selling your product. So you gotta know your product really well. And
Because
your
at the
design.
end you are a salesperson.
Right.
You are a salesperson. You
And
you're
a
selling your
service, and a
design.
service person.
Yes, that's what you are.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So, the contractual and business aspect of a design project are addressed so that students can familiarize themselves with the legal aspect of the design profession. So that is also addressed in the residential program. But George, I want for you to elaborate a little bit about that for me.
Well, certainly anybody that goes into a practice of selling anything or dealing with the customers in which you're expecting to sell yourself or market yourself or any products, you have to have some sort of a legal entity with which you do it. So we'll be talking about that briefly. Won't go into it. This is not a legal course. It's not even an accounting course. It's a design course, and everything is that we're going to be talking to the students about will be specifically how they can set up their own business in their home or in a small office or grow into a large office.
Okay.
But at least this is the fundamentals of it, and you'll be able to go out, whether it starts out just with your home or with your friends and family's homes, or the world is sort of your oyster. You can go collect it yourself. But I think that the basic business principles having to do with discounts from suppliers and just lists of suppliers and how you find new suppliers, and how you process invoices and how you make payments and how you and it's a living, so you need to be able to get the profit margin there. So we always talk about money, and you need to also talk about the budgets of your customers as well, and not have and stay within those budgets, because people don't normally like to have their budgets totally blown. We've all done it at one time or another, and sometimes it's appropriate for the job, and sometimes they're happy with it, and sometimes they're not. So the thing to do is to be wise and understand your customer, and just to make sure that you have approvals, as Robert was saying. You're trying to sell yourself. They need to be a part of this design. This isn't I used to tell a story about to borrow their watch to tell them what time it was, and you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be just trying to regurgitate exactly what your customer has said to you. What you need to be able to do is to come up with your ideas and your thoughts, and to have your customers buy into that. And this is part of what Robert was talking about. It's also part of the business part of it, and this is how you make them happy with the services that you provide.
And to piggyback from what George is saying, I think it's also important to also sell yourself in this whole thing as well, because once your client feels very comfortable with you, then almost no matter what you say, they'll believe you. You can say teal is the greatest color. going right now, they may not even like teal at all, but if they have a vote of confidence in you and they trust you, then all of a sudden teal is not so bad, and they'll maybe possibly use it in the project or
Definitely.
their own.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this program will give you the confidence to be able to go out and be able to sell teal or be able to sell any other process or design
Exactly.
with confidence, because I think the program will really allow you as an individual to grow and really understand design from a different perspective. I think what would separate this program from the rest of the programs is that you're going to really understand the fundamentals, like Gisela was saying, the basics of why colors are put a certain way, why design is created in a certain fashion. I think when the layman person out there looks at a TV show, they just see the end product and very little of the process.
Right.
This program will really dive into the process of what is design, what is to create. And I think when you have that knowledge, you are empowered.
Great.
And an important part of the process is also the contract. It's not just the design part, but also coming to an agreement in writing with your client. And I believe this program could help the regular person, housewife, or anybody that's interested in the program to do it in a legal way and also to make sure to get paid. So it'll give them an idea
Yeah,
how to do those agreements and contracts with the clients.
Exactly. In addition to just the contract that you or your customer are going to be making between yourselves, you also will be contracting with outside people to provide those providers of vendors who will be providing the flooring, the ceilings, the lighting, the bathroom fixtures, and other things that you might be specifying.
Right.
And they are those people that also provide you with the technical knowledge. Those vendors and suppliers are the ones who provide you with the technical knowledge with regard to specific products. And so you're gonna, anybody that gets into this business will find themselves becoming very familiar with an awful lot of different types of industries.
Right.
And you're gonna discover all of the standards that go with those industries, the sizes in which things come.
A lot of technical information.
Exactly.
I think too, an important part of this program, and I think one of the most exciting parts of this program, is the fact that you get to jump in right away from day one into design. A lot of us that pursued a 4 or 5 year degree, you have to do a lot of the other stuff before you get to the good stuff or the fun stuff, which is design. And I think this program allows that opportunity. If you just want to do it as a side venture, you don't have to take calculus or understand structures to be able to really enjoy this program and get a lot out of it. So I think it's a really great venue for the person that really is interested in design but is not interested in pursuing a 4 or 5 year degree and is passionate about design. You'll be able to get a lot from it.
What I'm hearing is that this residential design certificate program provides a flexible schedule, it provides convenience, it provides a short time period. As you said, it's less than a year. It's about 7 to 8 months, right, Gisela?
Right.
And I know that you were one of the lead individuals when you were putting the curriculum content together, and we're hearing from all these industry professionals here today the importance of knowing every aspects, from the drawing, from the designing, from the history, to the selling, to the contract. How does the content of this program encompasses all of these areas? What is the structure of the program?
Well, we have, like I said, it's an accelerated design program, and we have chosen 6 courses that we believe constitute the foundation of any design program, and those are history of design, materials, design 1, design 2, drawing 1, and drawing 2. Design 1, for example, it's interesting because we do not get immediately into a residential project, but we do get into the elements, principles, foundations of design through very basic exercises of balance, figure, rhythm, and perhaps you end up designing a carpet or floor, but just using black and white tile. And the things that happen are incredible, Students never knew that with black and white they could do so many things. That's, what we do in Design 1. And then in history, we do go in the 10 meetings that we have through the whole a spectrum of major historical styles with a twist, because I like to, for example, explain Baroque, but then I like to show them what happens with Gothic in Harry Potter, you know, and then it's like, wow, Gothic, you know, you can still
Be
do
cool
something,
with
be
Gothic.
cool,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
or
Appreciate it.
this new program, Game of Thrones,
Mhm.
that has all this Gothic stuff, you know. So we do it from this point of view, so it's not boring, but it becomes very practical. You know, those things can be fun. And then we cover present day times. You know, who's Patricio Urquiola, who is Piero Lisoni, who's Chiterio. You know, things that it's important to know.
And I think it's interesting too, because when you have that knowledge and that history of design, when you look at the world, you look at it through different eyes. You're knowledgeable now, so when you're looking at spaces, when you're staying with your family at a resort hotel, you get to appreciate the different styles. You get to understand where those styles originated, why are they current again, and everything goes in a cycle. So I think things that were, popular in the 60s are now coming back, and vice versa. So I think you get a better appreciation for design overall.
Okay. So the students that are attracted to this type of program, this residential design certificate program, I know that you have spoken about international students. Do you have, the...
I've had
Remember.
students that have surprised me. I have had an odontologist. I've had a lawyer. I've had designers that come from other countries like Colombia and Venezuela and Brazil, that they want to know how the business is conducted in the United States. I have had young students that don't know if they would like to study this at the 4-year level, and they have taken the course to find out what is this all about. And I have had ladies that are interested in the field of design because they want to expand, culturally, understand their environments. Why is this restaurant like this? They go to all these places, they don't know why it's done like that. And this offers them an opportunity of understanding better in the same way that they understand fashion,
Right.
to understand design. It's has the same root.
In Miami, such a perfect place
For
to
that,
live. All
right.
of that,
Mhm.
you got the real estate. It's like all the people from all over wants to stay here, want to live here, and they want to experience that. So that course is perfect because even now there's so many immigrants, and they, like you said, the housewife who wants to get into this will know how to put a price to their creativity, know how to live, and might also have friends that want to live abroad. They have their vacation home here, and they just want somebody to, like, I need to decorate my house, I need to decorate my apartment. So it's a great opportunity. It's a great spot
Even
to
the
live.
level of entertaining in Miami
Mm-hmm.
is closely linked to design, because it's not like just setting up a table. We have here in Miami big productions, for baby parties, So design is very important, and everybody can benefit from knowing where all of this is coming from.
Yeah, and Miami is such a trendy city that it transcends into everything, like you were saying. It's not only the fashion and what we wear, but our environment, everything. Even in government, because that's what we do for a living. Even in government, you change the environment just by designing a good office space for the people.
Do you believe that buyers who want to invest in condominiums and homes here in Miami are looking at the design within? What are they looking for? Do you think it's important?
Claudia.
Yes, I think they're so eager to buy into that lifestyle that they see around, that's what they got them here in the first place. Those trendy restaurants, the trendy clubs, and all of that. They just want a piece of that. And it's also so important knowing our condo market, which is so unique. That staging, even for sales office, is so important. Even for rental vacation homes, Miami is a city that has it live for tourism and all that buzz. So decor or that beauty world is so important in our life. Is, you know, that's why people come here. They want to live it.
Okay, so would you say that industry professionals from international, like outside countries such as Colombia, Venezuela, and so forth, who are seeking to do design practice here in the United States would take a program such as this one?
I have already had many of them that come from those countries, and they have benefited a lot because they want to know how the business is conducted in the United States, which is very different. Even from Europe, we have very different manner of conducting business. So for Europeans, this is a very good program. Also, their deadlines are not American deadlines at all, you know, and this helps everybody that has not been trained in the United States, even if they're architects, which I have had many of them, even if they're designers that have practiced in their countries. This course will allow them to know our sources here, the materials, you know, the legal aspects, the commercial aspects, the sources in general.
And also the space planning, because usually in other countries spaces are tighter. Now that we have more spaces here, but we are more aware of ADA codes and the spacing between here and the wall, the desk, the bed. So they'll learn the basics of how to locate and space plan something.
Well, again, we do it at the residential level. You know, we concentrate on residential, and they get to know clearances and sizes and all that. And they are given basic tools to present their ideas. I mean, it's not, it is a course that will give you tools so that you can present your idea to someone else or even to yourself, prove it out. Does this fit? Doesn't it fit? You know, that kind of thing. You will be trained in that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
the drawing, if I can add, the drawing courses are key to anybody that's trying to develop a plan. Even the designer themselves, nobody can keep all of this in their head, particularly they get to be a large facility or there's some question of inches of how large a certain thing is. You just draw it. You draw it in scale. You draw the room in scale. You learn how to read, not in great detail, but you learn how to read an architectural set of drawings. You could read a drawing house plan, and you can see where the plumbing is and these things are, and you can see the sizes of the rooms, and you'll be able to measure out those individual rooms and draw them yourself. And you'll be able to draw all of the furniture in scale. Now this is huge for a lot of people because they don't know which end of the pencils to use when it comes to those kind of drawings. And I mean that's the reality of it. And this is an electronic medium, so it's something that they'll be able to use anywhere. And the good thing about it is they'll know whenever they make a presentation that what they're showing is accurate. In my career, I've seen so many drawings, and I used to always joke about the architects because they were great at drawing, and I've supervised them myself. They're great at drawing the facility and making everything exactly right, but when it came to the furniture side of it, you know, the furniture was not their thing. And we used to joke that they would, back when we used templates, years and years ago, showing my age there, we used to use a little template, which is a cutout of the shape of a piece of furniture, and you just trace it around with your pencil on an architectural drawing. And we would have them at 1/4 inch scale and 1/8 inch scale, and we would joke that they would take 1/8 inch size furniture and put it in a 1/4 inch plan to make the room look bigger.
However, George, we encourage architects, you know, to take the course. We encourage them because maybe they know that. I mean, I am aware of what you're talking about. There is all this legendary jokes, you know, and competitive spirit among architects, designers, and engineers. You know, we all are always making jokes about each other. But let's say that it is that the architect doesn't come to learn how to draw in the course. He still will get to know from an interior design point of view the sources, That part he may not be
That's
aware of. The
That's
current trends,
Mm-hmm.
that the places where you can shop. We encourage a lot of communication with local organizations such as Vizcaya, and we have made trips to the Wilsonian Museum. They are become aware of exhibitions that are taking place at the Bass Museum, at everywhere, So even if it's just for that, once we know that they are trained in basic skills, we give them the challenge to go in then into something else.
Of course.
So when I see that it's an architect, I just punish them.
Well,
Okay.
they just need to, and I was certainly wasn't trying to denigrate the architects, of course, but it's a shift of emphasis. When they're designing a building,
Yes, of course.
they're not specifying the furnishings, so to them a symbol of a piece of furniture is
Some of
sufficient.
them want to get into interiors.
And
They
many
make
of
more
them want
money.
to. Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. There's more money.
Yeah.
There's definitely more money to be
be
made in the
made,
interior side.
Speaking of, something that I think it's interesting is that since it's just 6 courses, this is much more affordable. That for some students that want to get into design but cannot afford a
Mhm.
full academic program. So maybe they want to get into this, start working, and then get into something more ambitious later.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that this particular certificate program can attract international professionals that seek to practice design in the United States, to those searching for career changes, students interested in exploring design, and those that have always envisioned being able to better understand the mysteries of a good design as a personal expression. So it is very wide for to the audience and those who might be interested in this particular area. I would like all of you to just give me an idea, and anyone can chime in here. What can a trained residential designer contribute to a good, attractive space? Because this would be the end result after taking all this, the program, the modules, learning from the industry professionals such as yourself. What then can a trained person do to contribute to a good, attractive space?
I think that Johanna has this packaged already.
Yeah, I think, well, in my profession, I find that when I visit a lot of my friends' homes or relatives' home, I find that proportion and scale are very important, and they don't have that type of knowledge to understand. I bought this sofa because I like it, but it's way too big for my room. Or this lounge chair is the wrong proportion. So I have a low ceiling height, it should have been twice as small. When you learn the basic principles that are being taught in this program, the world opens up to you. You have other resources available where you can go purchase furniture, and you're no longer looking at things just because they're beautiful or they're pretty to you, but because they fit the environment that they're going to be located in. And I think you're also able to translate very high-end design in a moderate budget. So you can take a design that you've seen maybe in a hotel where you stayed with your family, and you're able to translate that design into a residential environment and make it successful. But I think scale, proportion, rhythm, balance, all those fundamentals of design that you don't typically know. You might have a good eye for design, you might have good taste, but you don't have those basic principles that are going to elevate you to the next level.
And as far as looking at the materials themselves for a particular space after you're trained, what's the outlook? How does that person look at a room and a space?
I think that person might come out of the program knowing more of the technical aspect of each material, so they could apply it properly to their use, because a fabric that you would use for upholstery, you're not going to use it as a curtain. And you would see the flow and the integration of all the materials in the end product, I think.
Okay, wow. And so a trained person then, Robert, how will they be, they'll have done different drawings and they'll do interior design 1 and 2. How then can they be more skilled to present what they have done to a client?
Well, I think the class will definitely allow you to have that knowledge of being, skilled to to do that, it'll open your eye to all the things that you need to know concerning, you know, the elements and the materials that it takes to create a nice space. So.
Okay, great. So Gisela, this program is being taught at University of Miami Coral Gables campus. And when are classes?
We are very flexible. We are doing it on Saturdays, and probably will start soon during week nights to make it possible for those that work.
Yeah,
or
that's
have,
very convenient. Okay.
So it's very convenient, and it's centrally located.
Okay, great. So convenient location, convenient times, and a curriculum content that really will address the needs of the design industry today. Well, I would like to take this opportunity to inform those that are viewing this dialogue that we're sharing here, that if you go to the website at www.educationmiami.com, you'll be able to learn more details about the program. And I know there's a fall start coming up, so we have terms fall, spring, summer, for students to be able to embrace this industry and be equipped with the necessary skill set to go out there and be a very creative residential designer. So I would like to thank all of you that are here today for sharing with us your experience, your expertise, your knowledge about your particular area in this industry. The University of Miami thanks you, and I thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
for
having
having
us.
us. Thank you.